All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Why Ukraine live stream. It's an interesting live stream today. Not the least, not the least, because I'm coming to you from Ivano-Frankivsk right now. My wife wanted a weekend outside of our somewhere else, and since I refuse to leave Ukraine, we we settled on Ivano-Frankivsk. She's actually having a night on the town with her coworkers. So, but if you want to know why I'm constantly going to be looking up in the middle of our live streams, probably most of the time you're going to see me like this. It's because my what I usually have an external monitor, I didn't bring it with me. I'm connected to the hotel monitor, which is mounted on the wall above me. So when I want to read your texts, by the way, hello, Ronnie. Paul, thanks for coming. Manu, are you the only Italian? You might be. You think Italy is the most Z country? I mean, I've heard Serbia. They're not in the EU, or are they? Is Serbia part of the EU? I don't remember. Shere Khan, thanks for coming. Venice Oblast. I didn't know you were in Venice, Manu. I've never been to Venice, but I have studied a great deal of the early history of Venice, and I'm fascinated by it. Yes, and the real Dave Seaman. Yeah, we should have an early bird bonus. I agree. Yeah, Serbia wishes, right? It wasn't me. Hello, everyone. All right. So today we have some fantastic things to talk about. It may just be a little bit of a short stream today because, well, Tridents Against Tyrants is coming on shortly, and I will release you guys to go and cause whatever kerfuffle havoc you want to on his stream. But no, seriously, it's a little bit of a short stream today because I am in Ivano-Frankivsk in a hotel, as you can see behind me. And hello, blonde bombsheller. I think this counts as on time. If you're within 5 minutes, I certainly think. Yeah, so I hope you guys like looking at my chin, because that's what you're going to get a lot of from me today, apparently. It's because you're so far above me. That's the reason why. Maybe I ought to reverse screens. Maybe that's what I ought to do. Give me a second. Let's see if I can do that. All right. I'm going to move this down here. Yeah, there we go. This is looking better and better already. And so this is much better. I should have done this before the stream, obviously. Okay, let's see here. And yes, I'm going to share this screen. There we are. That's much better. Yeah, looking at our Air Force. Right, exactly. So now I can read your text a little bit more easily, and I will move this up here. Oh, except one terrible thing. Okay, all right, that's fine. That's just fine. We'll be okay. We'll be all right. Obviously, I should have done this before you came on the stream. So, but thanks for coming, everyone. It's great to see you all here. Today, we're going to talk about the news, as you can obviously see. The news this week has just been great. 2 weeks ago, if you had told me that this was going to happen, that we were going to have, help coming from America by now, honestly, a week and a half ago, if you had told me that this was going to happen, I would have called you a liar. Just a bold-faced liar, to be honest. So, I mean, sunny days are here again. What can I say? It's really quite fantastic. So, things are not so sunny for me right now because, as you know, normally I have a fundraising site, which is whyukraine.myshopify.com, and my fundraising site is down. So I am going to be working on that for the next, well, probably for the next couple of weeks to get that back up and running. But so it goes. That's just something that's going to have to happen and be dealt with. So there we are. All right, much better. I find this to be better. And here we go. Now you guys can. That looks much better. I like that. We're great. Okay. So apologize for there will be a Y Air Force. Yes, there will. Yes, there will. So this is one of the rare times you guys are going to get to see me drink beer. I don't drink a lot of beer, but occasionally. Right now, there's not another place to donate. I'm working on that problem. I'm working very hard on that problem, but for the time being, the PayPal is all that we have. But hopefully that's not true. I do have Buy Me a Coffee, okay, which I will link right now. But it's not so sophisticated, okay? So it's just this, just a very simple Buy Me a Coffee page. I've had this set up for forever, since I started doing this. So you're welcome to donate there as well. And in the interim, until I get come on, James, until I get everything set up with the new fundraising portal, Buy Me a Coffee is going to be the alternative to PayPal, essentially. So there we are. But I didn't want to keep you guys waiting too long. So there we are. I'm gonna do a link for that. I'm gonna start adding the Buy Me a Coffee to the description, but it's just basically buymeacoffee.com/whyukraine. So now you can see that. All right. So let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about the news. I want to continue to talk about the trip that that I just completed this week, delivering drones out to the front line, and so we'll get into that as well. Yeah, I also have a Patreon account, but I mean I know Buy Me kicked people off, so apparently for supporting Ukraine. So yeah, so Real Dave Seaman is talking about on our Discord. We are putting together a pledge donation drive to supply a drone, basically, and specifically, we're gonna start supplying drones to. Well, if you give me a second here, I'll show you. We're going to start supplying drones to these guys here. So this is the International Legion 2nd Battalion, connected with the 63rd Mechanized Brigade. So they are working together to one degree or another with these guys. So this is one of the FPV operators here, and you can see, by the way, Shere Khan, these are the tourniquets that you bought in the hands of the FPV operator for the 63rd. Thank you, Real Dave Seaman. Some parts for a drone, which is 70% finished. And so the specifics of that, we have another guy who's also in the Legion, who I know personally, who is working on building a drone. And so we're just going to have one drone after another. Yeah, Real Dave Seaman, thank you. So we have a raffle. I know this is a little bit confusing, but we also have a raffle for to buy a second Spider drone, which now that's the drone that we took out to the Legion this week. Okay. And that, if you want to donate to that, it's $5 for a ticket, and you just go to PayPal, and in the PayPal or on Buy Me a Coffee, and you can put in there in the description, just say raffle. Okay, so you could type in here just raffle, and we'll know that you're entering. And also, when you go to make a comment, in the PayPal, you can put a note, just say raffle, and we'll know where that's going to. All right. So with that in mind, Paul Gilbert, I think I have Paul's email. So Real Dave Seaman says, Paul Gilbert, where can I find you? Would love to get you to the server, but no idea where to contact you. So I think I have your email, Paul, and because I think I'm going to be sending you some things. So, and I believe I have your address, email address, and physical address. So that will be sent to you. Well, I was going to send it yesterday, but Monday. As you can imagine, things have been a little bit crazy down here. So, Alabama, thanks for coming. Good to see everybody. How y'all doing? So this is pretty interesting. German media publish Russian-Ukrainian peace agreement that could have been signed at the beginning of the war. So I don't know if anybody remembers that, but at least 2 people were poisoned coming out of that. Those negotiations. 1 person was later killed. The poisoning was done by the Russians, apparently. And on one side, they even poisoned a Russian who was trying to help negotiate. One of their oligarchs. So what's interesting about it, okay, permanent. So the negotiations were permanent neutrality for Ukraine, but they're allowed to join the EU. So they can't join NATO, but they could join the EU. Never to receive or acquire nuclear weapons, not to allow foreign weapons and troops into the country, and not to make its own military infrastructure. I'm sorry, not to make its military infrastructure available to any other country, which is pretty interesting. And then in return, Russia promised, pinky swear, not to attack Ukraine again. Like, I don't know why anybody would believe in that, but there you are. And then the last thing that was in this, I don't know if this is even important to you guys, but yeah. So the last thing was that, okay, so Crimea and the port of Sebastopol were to be so they're effectively giving up Crimea. The Crimea and the port of Sebastopol were to be excluded from the security guarantees, and it looks like they were going to also give up Donetsk and Luhansk. I'm sure that that's where the talks broke down. I mean, I'm sure of it, right? But essentially, all the power would be put in Moscow's hands, you know. So you can see where the talks broke down, because just like with the Minsk agreements, you know, Russia never upheld them. Never upheld them. And you know, this idea that Boris Johnson or something prevented the peace negotiations. No. I mean, these were. I would look. Moscow demanded that the Ukrainian army be reduced to 85,000 soldiers. You know, I mean, it's just. It would have been effectively capitulation, and Russia would have just broken their treaty again and again and again and again. You know, so you can see why it didn't go through. And it has nothing to do with Boris Johnson or somebody else. You know. So, yeah, but just an interesting thing, you know. So, but this is just interesting. I mean, this is coming from the German side, and I can't believe that they would say this. You know, Davydov quoted an unnamed member of the Ukrainian delegation as saying, "This was the best deal we could have had." I can almost guarantee you that. Hello, Anna. Thanks for coming. But I can almost guarantee you that the the person who said that was probably who is the oligarch? Who's the oligarch who was on the negotiating table? The one who owned Chelsea, Chelsea football owner, right? The oligarch who he sold the Chelsea football club. Aha. Who's the Russian owner of Chelsea? Yeah, Abramovich. Okay, Roman Abramovich. Yeah, thank you. You guys are like Abramovich. Yeah, Abramovich. So, you know, I just try to forget him, but he's been kind of trying to play both sides against the middle for a long time, and I mean, maybe he has good intentions. It's possible, but he was trying to help, trying to negotiate on the side of Ukraine. So he was poisoned. He was poisoned by the Russians. So, but I'm reasonably certain. Sorry, I'm reasonably certain that the German perspective says the publication believes, this is Die Welt, okay, quoting from this German publication. The publication believes that even after more than 2 years of war, this agreement still looks favorable. What the fuck? What the actual, so bullshit. I call bullshit on it. It's the Germans still trying to, throw Ukraine under the bus, as it were. So there we are. There you have it, guys. That's what I'm going to say about it. Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, they could have agreed to this, but the Ukrainian people would never have agreed to it. It has nothing to do with Zelensky at this point. If Zelensky agreed to any freaking peace agreement right now, or even back then, or at any point in this war along these lines, so the publisher, it wasn't me. The publisher was Davydov, a German newspaper. So this is Euromaidan Press reporting on it, but it's a German newspaper. Who got the leaked documents, I guess, from the negotiations. So there's that. Yeah. So I want to go through some of the news on Euromaidan Press. I just really feel like Russia. Oh, Anna, yeah, Eastern influence still there. You mean in Germany? Yeah. So basically, if you look at a map of German map of let's see if this will find it. Favorability towards Russia. It's really ironic, though, right? Because, okay, I'm not sure this is what I want. I want a map. Huh. Okay. Well, I'm not going to find a map that shows it, but I have seen them. But basically, the parts of Russia that were, I'm sorry, the parts of Germany that were occupied by the Soviet Union in the sense East Germany, I mean, are exactly the parts that of Germany that are support that are in favor of Russia. It's very strange. It's very, very strange to me because, like, didn't they want to be free of the Soviet Union? Isn't that what they wanted? They wanted to get out from under the yoke. Isn't that why or are they doing this out of fear? Is it like a lingering Stockholm syndrome? Because it's older people in Germany and um and people in Eastern Germany. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just habits. In America, we have these habits where people just, you know, they'll vote for the same name regardless. It's just name recognition, that sort of thing, or they just vote Republican or even Democrat, just because. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Die Welt has a correspondent in Moscow who always calls Ukrainian towns by their Russian names. Yeah. Well, that kind of shows you everything you need to know, right? They're showing their hand there. So, Ukraine is striking oil refineries. Russia's hitting power plants. This is everybody's saying it, and you guys know this is the last big push. Wow, Ronnie, really? I saw 2 hot air balloons crash in my city. Eastern Germans fleeing in 1989. Yeah, it's so interesting. I think it's a lot like Russians. Many Russians who left the Soviet Union after the fall, like in 1991, and now they live in the West. But they're in favor of Putin. They think Putin's great. It's wild. Yes, and Mr. Squiggle, yes, many German businesses do continue to do business with Russia and make money. Yeah, 15 kilometers from Western Germany here. Yeah. So, but I think this is a pretty interesting article here. So Ukraine ranks in the top 6 of, well, I guess they only surveyed 43 countries, but and so it's very interesting. So 64% of Ukrainian respondents believe democracy may have its flaws, but it's the best system of government. And in Russia, it's 22%. That kind of tells you everything that, if you had to draw, to anybody who says, yeah, Ukraine and Russia, they're just the same, aren't they? No, they're not. And this is, if nothing else, this is such a huge difference, just such a primary difference. Um, so, I can't emphasize that enough. I know I talked about it many times before. I mean, yes, the cultures are similar in many ways, but, Ukraine loves freedom, and historically, going back even before the Cossacks, going all the way back to, the Procopius in the 6th century, you know, yeah. So, um, but I think it's pretty cool that, you know, I feel like a lot of countries are now pouring in aid. Australia, 100 million dollar aid package. I mean, I think, I hate to say it, but maybe we had to kind of come through the fire to wake people up. Um, Hang on a second. Bell, you say, I see Russian trolls say that a lot on Facebook. Um, what's that? You mean like that Ukraine and Russia are the same? Yeah, yeah. And unfortunately, I've heard it from Ukrainians, but it's mostly older Ukrainians who, um, are a little bit more susceptible to Russian propaganda. Unfortunately, so let's see if I can figure out where my mouse is. I'm really curious about this 100 million in aid for Ukraine. However, if it includes those goddamn helicopters that are sitting out in the desert, the Taipans, because like, but I don't think so. It's drones, manpads, and some other stuff. Where's the damn Taipans? That's what I want to know. God damn it, you know. But this is an interesting one here. UNICEF reports 40% increase in children killed in Ukraine this year. I'm quite certain that is a low number. In the first quarter of 2024 alone, 25 children have been killed in Russian attacks. No, I'm sorry. That's a low number. No way is that. Uh, no way is that accurate. No, there's a lot more children that have been killed. You know. So here it says here the UN. So, Stark figures reported about the UN suggest that around 600 children have been killed and over 1,350 injured since the intensification of the war. Yeah, actual figures potentially higher, much higher. Guarantee you, much higher. Yeah, Ronnie, exactly. The ones that they were going to demolish. Yeah. Thank you, Manu. That UNO is doing nothing for the children. Nothing. In Is it in Kiev or let's see, or Lviv? No, in Kiev. Um, is it UNICEF or Save the Children? I can't remember. One of those big NGOs has a play area for children set up in the train station. Like they've occupied part of the train station, and it's like this play area for children. that is pretty much the extent of NGOs like UNICEF and Save the Children. That's the extent of their help in Ukraine. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. So Johnny has been Johnny's been talking about this. I spoke about this with Johnny because he was talking about how, I mean, this is like a month ago or more, but we were on I can't remember. Maybe it was the Shills talking about the European Parliament and all the cool stuff they're doing. And the European Parliament is really doing great things, or trying to, and very pro-Ukraine right now. But this is the question here. Member of the European Parliament fears that if radical parties strengthen their presence in the European Parliament following the European elections, support for Ukraine may weaken. And I can't emphasize that enough. Thank God that we got this bill passed. I mean, I have never been so happy to be wrong before in my life about the funding bill from the United States. Never been so happy to be wrong. I mean, it's fantastic. So, like I said last time, the attitude towards us out there as Americans was people were like really smiling and happy to see us. So this is something that really needs to happen, as we know. Russia must pay. So the thing is that most of that 300 billion is in the EU, right? But my feeling is that if the United States can put pressure on the EU in some way, either by passing laws to seize whatever assets Russia has in the United States. So this is the deal here, that the law that was just passed. So allowing for confiscation of Russian central bank assets. So they've got a legal mechanism, at least, and it's going to be very interesting if Biden does this, if he has the chutzpah, as it were. Lauren, oh, that's interesting. Sorry, I need to scroll down to see your comment. I think Save the Children has had a big influence in Ukraine. I would love to see your information on that, really. If Save the Children is doing anything in Ukraine, I've been highly surprised. It's truly, that would be truly news to me, to my knowledge. I mean, they have a presence here, to be sure, but insofar as what they are actually doing to save the children, having a presence does not equate to actually doing anything. So I know they have a website where they say they do things, and for a while they did have like a center in Kherson. But yeah. Interesting. Paul, that's an interesting theory. So it was because of Iran's attack on Israel that Congress moved. That's an interesting theory, Paul. I mean, do you think? I mean, what made this happen is my question. Like, what listen, I mean, to be honest with you guys, I mean, I think that all of you who if you want to if we want to talk about the reason why this happened, I think that what we need to say is that the United States still has a democracy. Um, yeah, Ronnie, that's kind of my. I mean, look, Lauren, totally. If I would love, I wish Save. I used to work for Save the Children. You know, um, I wish the Red Cross. I wish these big NGOs would do more, and they're just not. Um, Yeah, way too many people called and voiced their support for Ukraine is why it happened. Yeah, I really think that Trump, I think it was Trump. I mean, I'm not giving Trump credit. I think that he realized that too much of the Republican mainstream Republican base is pro-Ukraine. And he was never he was losing on that. He was losing on that, you know. He's he had to bury that issue. He had to make that a non-issue. He had to go back to talking about the you know the the culture war issues, the social issues that mean nothing in the grand scheme of things, but people make a big deal about it, like the gays, gay frogs, and all that other crap. You know, um, yeah, Silver Earth. Yeah, I was calling my representative multiple times a week. I mean, Tridents Against Tyrants, freaking getting on there and pushing you guys to do stuff, giving people all these. Um, that's interesting, Cheryl. So intelligence briefings. I think. I mean, he did state that he, intelligence briefings plus Ukrainian evangelicals influenced him. We're talking about uh, Micro Johnson, right? You know. Yeah, I mean, there were some people who said um, that yeah, I did see that the evangelicals. Um, yeah, Cheryl Watley. I think politically, Trump realized he was losing Haley voters. He doesn't want to go to jail. Well, you know what? I think he just might. I keep up with that. I'm not going to get into it here, but I keep up with that whole shit show just as much as I keep up with Ukraine. When I've heard too much Ukraine news and I just need some comic relief, I just go and watch or listen to like Midas Touch or MSNBC just to hear the goings on with the Trump trials. That's my daily humor stream, you know. Um, so yeah, if the Russian economy collapses, there will be no money left for reparations. It's an interesting thought, Mary. That's a very interesting idea. I mean, put it this way: Germany had to pay reparations, and their economy collapsed. Um, it took a while. Uh, lots of countries have had to pay reparations. Um, sorry, I'm having a little bit of an allergy thing happening. Sorry. Yeah. Um, yeah. Oh, Cypher. He can be elected still, even in jail, and then pardon himself, from what I've heard. Yeah, this has been a debate. This has been. Oh my gosh. So, anyway, so enough about the evil orange one. Let's just talk about this. Okay, so can the United States, if the United States starts seizing confiscated Russian assets, um, either unilaterally or multilaterally, and will Biden use this to push the EU to, because Biden knows that this is, he's got to push the guys in the EU to do this, because they're just going to talk about it. They're never going to do it. Um, Bell, Red Cross is using Ukraine as a parking lot. Yeah, yeah, that's been well documented. So right, so we're talking about in the United States, according to this article, it's not that much, between 5 to 8 billion. But see, I think there's more. I think there's a lot more than 5 to 8 billion in in America in terms of Russian assets. I think there's a lot hidden in behind shell company and shadow companies and trusts and all of these things. And I think if somebody really wants to dig into the Panama Papers, um, I think and those types of, there's several other leaks of papers like that. I think that we'll find out that there's actually a lot more than 5 to 8 billion in in terms of assets in America. That's my personal opinion. I mean, how much is Trump worth? He says he's a billionaire, so he's got to be at least a billion of that 5 to 8 billion, right? Mm. JPH, just check UNICEF Ukraine, and biggest latest article is eco-friendly for help Ukraine community to recycle. Yeah, boy, because that's important here in Ukraine. We're in the middle of a war, so we really need help with recycling. Oh, thank God they're doing that for us. No, I mean, I really hope that all these NGOs pull their heads out of their collective asses, but I don't. I don't have a lot of hope, right? So, um, I mean, I think that there's more, and I think that with an investigation, um, so therefore, this U.S. decision, significantly, primarily as a qualitative new step towards confiscating the full amount of approximately 300 billion. So it's not everything, but it's just pushing. Okay, I just think there's a lot more assets. That's the point I'm trying to make. Um, okay, um, this is interesting because this has been like reported by a lot of people. Okay, about the Abrams. Um, M1 Abrams being withdrawn, because 5 out of the 31. Um, it's okay. So the tanks are performing excellently on the battlefield, and we certainly have no intention of hiding from the enemy what usually makes them hide. I think this is probably a bad translation. Um, I mean, it's entire. It's entirely possible that they did withdraw them because they're constantly repositioning their forces. You know, um, they may have just repositioned them, but that doesn't matter. I think that they might be performing excellently, but if they are vulnerable to drones, if we have to build freaking turtle shells out of what if they have to do what the Russians are doing, then fine. Wow, Dimitri, UNICEF will text messages in my country, Romania, asking for support for Ukrainian children. After 2 years of chipping in, there is still no traceability, as in you donate, no clue where the money goes. Classic. Classic. Wow. Okay. So Cheryl, I'm watching a Swiss series about how the Red Cross pressured surviving Jews to go to Israel after the war and were hiding a lot of Nazi assets they didn't want investigated. Oh, Shere Khan, thanks for coming. It's great to see you, man. GTSY, as you guys say. The Swiss miniseries is called Labyrinth of Peace. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Oligarchs own apartments in Trump Tower. That's what I'm talking about, you know? Interesting. Yeah. So Laura and I kind of heard that too. We're talking about the Red Cross, that they were giving different prisoner of war aid. So Russian prisoners got better help, got better aid from the Red Cross than the Ukrainian POWs. Yeah. So yeah, no, the Red Cross is very active in Russia. You know, very active, but not for helping Ukrainian POWs very much. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Allergies. Really getting to me. Oh, Viper. Good to see you, man. Excellent. We should talk sometime soon. Okay, so moving on to talk about this the Abrams tanks. I mean, I would not be surprised if we don't see. So apparently, you know, what they're talking about with the Abrams, and it makes perfect sense, that all the armor is up on the front and they have less armor in the back, so there's a vulnerability back there, you know. So do something about it. Perfectly normal, you know. Tack some extra armor on the back, put something there to block drones from getting too close, you know. Oh no, Salt of the Earth is late. Oh shit. What are we gonna do, guys? 50 lashes with a wet noodle. Salt of the Earth. That's what happens. Salt of the red Earth, sorry. Yes. The Earth is not going to be just red because of the iron content. It's going to be red because of the marinara sauce. Okay. So I mean, Salt of the Red Earth, the last line. Okay, sorry. You said I am interviewing a hobbit today. Any questions you have? Oh, yes, I have many questions for a hobbit. What shoe size do they wear, for one thing? Oh, you're right, Paul. Now we have to start over. Salt of the Red Earth is here. We have to go back to the beginning. Sorry. Oh yeah, it is. It's that's true. The fine is a $5 raffle ticket. That's the fine. Yeah. Well. Oh, Michelle, you're late, but you have a note from your cats. Okay. Well, have your cats bring me the note, and you'll be excused. So I fully expect and I actually hope to see modifications to the Abrams. I mean, guys in the U.S. military did tons of modifications, not to the Abrams, but in Iraq to the oh, Shazbot. My daughter's performing tonight as Mary. Holy crap-a-moly, Salt of the Red Earth. Okay. Well, then I do want to know what her shoe size is. That's fantastic. Congratulations. Yeah. There you go. That's my little song. I hope YouTube doesn't copyright me for that. But yeah, no. So I mean, I fully expect to see modifications. And that's great. We shouldn't say like, "Oh no, the Abrams has failed." No, I mean, Humvees and all kinds of other vehicles the US did modifications to. So, so why not? in Iraq and Afghanistan. I mean, you know. Viper says the M1 Abrams are beautiful. I don't know if I'd call them beautiful. I mean, they're tanks. For the T90, the birdcage is an upgrade. That is true. That is true. So, yeah. So, I want to talk about. Let's see. Before we get going, before we start wrapping up or anything. Oh, sorry. Give me a second, guys. Give me just a second. I'm having a little bit of an issue. I'm gonna have a sneeze. Oh my gosh, it's coming. It's coming. I'm putting. Sorry. Jesus H Christ. Whew. I'm afraid the hotel owner might call the police. I'm afraid. Yeah, you lost me. You lost me. Um, I'm afraid I'm gonna set off the. Look at a bright light. It will help you sneeze faster. But will it help me sneeze quieter? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't set off the error alert alarms or anything, but if we get a news report about a mysterious explosion heard in Ivano-Frankivsk, you'll you'll know why. Okay, I'm late. Yes, blonde bottom chiller. Luckily, a wizard is never late. Anyway, so I do want to share something with you because two weeks ago now, I made my little proposal about volunteers and getting volunteers here. And so this is something that's probably really going to happen. I just want to emphasize to you. Yeah, I will have to dock my own pay. But so people are really starting to get interested in this, and so this this young lady. Wow, I'm such a dad now. I say young lady. This young lady sent me this video today, and she serves in the International Legion as a medic, and she started this initiative like almost 2 years ago or something in 22. And she's really interested in becoming one of our trainers as a volunteer. So I'm just going to share this video with you.
I'm the founder of MedUkraine. MedUkraine is an organization that started recently. However, we're doing a lot of work to train volunteers to become combat medics and assist military. I started it because the whole way through my journey, my personal journey with helping Ukraine, I tried to do the things that either there was a lack of or that most people wouldn't do, either because it's dangerous or because it's hard to do. So I started this because of the lack of medics that we see at the front lines, and I'm trying to get some more medics out there to help evacuate the injured soldiers. The hardest thing about these projects that we manage is the expectations, not only from others to us, but for ourselves and the expectations to ourselves. There's a lot of weight on our shoulders, and I definitely think that there's a reason not a lot of people are doing what we're doing. We're currently in a facility for CQB training, reason being that when our volunteers are going out to assist military, they have to be ready for everything. So we're also training them in tactical trainings and not only medical training. When it comes to the trainings we provide, there's a lot of subjects that we touch on, both medical, such as combat lifesaver or combat medic, but we also touch on a different variety of tactical trainings in different environments, such as urban tactics, green tactics, or tactics in forest terrain, land navigation. We do survival training, how to survive in green terrain, such as woods or whatever else we can meet out where we're going. So yeah, there's really a lot of different subjects that we're touching on. I guess the easiest way to support our organization is through funding. Just like many others, funding is essential for keeping things running. We really want to support our volunteers in the best way we can and in every scenario. So I think that's the biggest answer I can get. Other than that, volunteering is definitely important too. So I do understand that doing medical jobs like this on the front lines is not for everyone, but even donations from medical equipment or long-lasting food supplies, anything is a help, truly. And even sharing our content that we put out to spread awareness is also a help. If you want to volunteer with us, the easiest way to get in touch is through our website, and then fill out the contact form. And in that way, you can get a reply pretty quickly. I'll do my best to be a little quicker than I've been so far, but yeah, there's a lot to look at. So even if you don't want to do medical trainings, perhaps sometimes we do have admin spots open as well. I think that's it.
Okay, so this girl got in touch with me, or I got in touch with her. We kind of connected on Facebook, and she's going to probably do a live stream with me, not this Sunday, but the next Sunday. And oh yeah, Anna, thank you for coming. Just saw that. So she really wants to be like one of our trainers when we get this program going, for people to come here to Ukraine to get experience as volunteers. And obviously she'll, she's a medic, she'll be focused on the medical side, which is important for everybody, no matter what you're going to come to do in Ukraine to volunteer. If you're going to be delivering stuff to the front lines, if you're going to join the International Legion, if you're just going to help repair homes or cook dinner, you're gonna you should have it. You should have some medical training. So it's really exciting. I'm really happy that people are coming, real experienced trainer people, not just me kind of making shit up and going, hey, yeah, you should do this, guys. No, the real deal. So just kind of a little teaser there. We're still laying the groundwork and things, but I thought it was really important to share. I saw Cheryl, you asked about Tony, and I'm sorry, but I think we can be 90% certain he didn't make it. He basically didn't. He's listed as MIA, but to be perfectly honest with you, I think that he's not identifiable, is what I would say. And so I think that we need to do some sort of a memorial for him, and I'm not sure how to do that in an honorable way. And I want to do something for his wife and his family. And I don't know what form that should take. For those of you who don't know or who weren't here back in January or December, we sponsored a guy to come back to Ukraine. So he had already fought here in Ukraine in the summer, and he went back. And he wanted to go back. He hadn't gotten his combat pay, and so he didn't have enough money to come back to Ukraine from North Carolina, and he did. So, I mean, he died doing what he loved. Anyway, so I want to have some sort of a memorial for him, even if it's just an online part of the webpage. Something of that nature. Everyone who comes here, if you serve in the Legion, you know that's a distinct possibility. And this guy, by the way, his call sign is FOMA. Wait, yes, that is FOMA. Yeah. It doesn't matter. All of us who do this, we all know. And even though we were just driving out there, and Lizard here, that's the call. That's his call sign. And I just want to emphasize. So Il Pirata, who's one of our members here, Il Pirata is having dinner with this guy right now. And Il Pirata is the guy who I just, drove across with to deliver drones. And so we kind of split off, and he went back to Lviv, where he's dropping off his rental car. And so the last day is his last full day in Lviv, and he is spending the afternoon with this legionnaire who you see in this picture here. And he's gonna buy him a bunch of kit that he needs. Basically totally kit him out, and send him out there. But yeah, Cheryl, I have been hoping that too. But I am in communication with guys who were in his unit and who are in direct communication with the commanders of his unit. And as far as we know, he's not in the hospital. So we need to do something. And so I'm open to your ideas. Everybody knows that that's something that can happen, any day, every day. Whether it's the lady that you saw just earlier, whether it's, FOMA here, whether it's Lizard, it's something that we all have to keep in mind. Sorry, I didn't realize I had this picture up. This is how do I do this here? There we go. I can zoom it in. This is the lady who you saw there. This is her dog. I didn't realize I had that in that folder. Somehow, why did I save a picture of her dog? Okay, well, probably because yes, Bill, North Carolina. That's correct. His wife and 2 daughters. So, I think maybe there's a little Akita in there. I think he's a purebred mutt, is what that dog is. But you'll notice that almost every Ukrainian unit, at least, seems to adopt a dog, and especially foreign soldiers serving in Ukraine, in my experience. So I went through and kind of OPSEC'd these pictures. This is a picture of of us handing off the drone that you guys paid for. So this is just to show, I just want to, yeah, man, it's real. So just to understand that the drone that you guys purchased with your raffle tickets, this is like the center part of it, and this big chassis here, this is a multiple. Yeah, Lauren, that's interesting. I already have a room set up for that, and I'll show it to you. I like your idea there. Viper, you really hit it. You really said it there. It's never a sacrifice when you do what you love and believe in. And he died for democracy, for the world. And I hope that his children can understand that someday, is what I would say. Yeah, Real Dave Seaman. So I have a bunch of video of them flying, not this drone, but the other drone that we delivered, which was a Mavic 2, and a bunch of video of them putting this together. And I just don't want to show it publicly because it shows too much location data. But I'm thinking I may either publish it as a members only video, or I'm going to put it in a specific secure room on the Discord. One and or both. So yeah. What's very interesting about this drone? So it's designed to carry up to 6 kilograms, and so they're gonna have to. So I'm directly in talks with their drone operators there, and hopefully this next week I'll be in talks with their technicians, the guys who work in the lab, who repair and kind of do different things with these drones. So they have a mechanism. It wasn't included, but they have a mechanism for dropping objects from this drone, which is why it has such a secure chassis. The actual controller part of the drone was just, if you look at the square that's kind of in the middle there, that sort of rectangle that's in the middle, it's not much bigger than that, to be honest. And the rest inside of this thing is all just empty space and wires going out to the different parts. And so let's see if I can, so down here with this picture, you can kind of see the drone a little more there in the lower left-hand corner. So you can see what the fully assembled drone looks like. And they assembled it there right in front of us. So the batteries are mounted on top, but then on the bottom, those batteries are pretty damn heavy. But then on the bottom, it could carry a cat, Lauren. Yeah. We could drop cats on the Russians. It's a great idea. So, not a chonky cat, sure, fair enough. But so they're gonna rig this thing up to be able to carry and drop those loads. But now, what we're also talking about is, it turns out that the drones that they use for just simply one-time use kamikaze stuff, they're much cheaper. Base models are like $400. So I'm thinking that maybe our next drone raffle, after the current one that we're doing, our next drone raffle might be, the deal with these Viper drones is Spider drones might be seen as biowarfare, dropping cats on people. So um, the cheaper drones are one-time use, basically, and this is a multiple time use. They It's not to say that the one-time use things are better or worse. They have different applications. So the one-time use guys, they're going to drop a grenade or whatever from above, but sometimes that doesn't. Sometimes that's not going to catch your fish. Sometimes, like if you're hitting, frankly, sadly, an Abrams, you have to go around behind, right? Or even the T-72s, or all the Russian tanks. Um, the top may not be best. It's better to go behind and under the turret, for example. Um, so yeah, Dimitri, I believe we can build solder the controller given the schematics and even burn the firmware. Yeah, and so we're kind of you know we're starting those talks and getting putting that information together. Um, Viper says, "Please tell me you guys seen the video of the Star Spangled Banner that was played to the Peters." No, I have not seen it. Um, yeah, Dimitri, Raspberry Pi or Arduino would be an overkill energy wise. Yeah, that's basically right. It's basically correct. No, I'm very curious about this video of the Star Spangled Banner that was played. I really want to see it now. Um, so I know I showed you guys some of these pictures last time, but I think it's worth seeing again. So just so you know, you guys asked about it, so they literally, I had them sign the boxes that the drone came in. Okay, we are going to raffle or auction something of those. Okay, unfortunately, this shirt is a one of a kind thing. Sorry, but Kenneth, sorry, UTV and Ham, you got that. But um, this flag, what an iconic picture, right? Just the flag blowing in the wind there while he signs it for you. You know, I think it's pretty interesting. Um, and so that flag there and this flag here um, are possibly my favorites. And then the other one, okay, going all the way back. Oh yeah, this one. Wow. Okay, that's a really big picture. I didn't realize how huge that is. I just look at these guys though. I mean, they're super happy. Okay. I don't know if I told you this, but we also bought about 100 with like 4 giant boxes. I don't even know how many there were. 4 full boxes. So we went to the local or in Kharkiv, not local, uh, health food store, and bought like all of the protein bars they had on their shelf, because that's the big thing. These guys have to ruck out to the middle of goddamn nowhere, and they have to carry ridiculously heavy backpacks. And it's like, do you want to eat food, or do you want to, you know, have ammo or more grenades or whatever, you know? So the lighter, the more energy they can get per weight is always better. So we asked them what kind of things they wanted, and that was a big high thing on their list, essentially. And so these guys here, Dax and Sphinx, are going to this. I didn't get to show this before because I had to had to opsec it. So they signed this flag with a note on it um, for you, and it says International Legion 2nd Battalion FPV UA Team, April 23rd, 2024. So pretty awesome, you know, pretty damn cool. And you can see the look on these guys' faces. Well, okay, you can see the look on one of their faces. You can see Dax's eyes. They're freaking happy. They're excited. And I'm continuing to talk to them. And about what their long-term needs are with regards to drones. And so that's why we're talking about like buying, you know, drone parts. And they are literally, both of these guys and the other unit here, um both these guys too, they really are looking for someone to build drones for them. Okay. Yeah, Manu, I like the red and black flag too. I like it. So that's equally as it has a big part of Ukrainian history, and it's one of the two like official flags of Ukraine. Goes all the way back to the Middle Ages. Has nothing to do with the, you know, World War II Germany guys that I won't talk about. So yeah, so we're gonna be like doing this stuff, man, and it's gonna be awesome. So I just wanted to show you, and I know I showed this briefly before, but just some pictures, kind of a little slideshow of what things look like out there in this the part of Ukraine where in this in particular, this is like around Izium, like let's say, yeah, generally around Izium, between Kharkiv and Izium, or yeah, around Izium is what I would say. Yeah, UTV and Ham. Okay, that's a very good point. UTV and Ham says, I would be happy to put together, but not near the fight. Yes, thank you. And that is why I live very far away from the fight. In, I would argue possibly the safest part of Ukraine. So, uh, yeah, it's going to be in a very safe place, and it's not going to be a target. So, um, and people can come, they can spend a week or two or a month or 3 months, whatever. And we'll get lots of different kinds of, you'll get kind of like basic training on medical stuff. We'll do like community service type of like renovating homes for um internally displaced refugees. And then we'll spend part of the day, at least in some of our centers, we'll spend part of the day building drones. That's the idea. Yeah, what I meant was I'm in the States, shipping would be a pain. Yeah, that's the problem, right? Shipping, we are talking about putting, maybe shipping used drones like you could buy on Craigslist and things to Ukraine. But again, shipping could take forever and be prohibitively expensive. I don't know. It's something that we should probably um, investigate. Um, but yeah, so I just want to kind of show you what it looks like out there. It's very interesting. I was telling Il Parada in the car when we first started out. I said, he was talking about, he was asking me like, well, why the hell does Russia want to take Ukraine anyway? Why are they doing this? It was something along those lines, right? And I said, well, the same reason the Mongols did, because as you are driving, as you're going along, as you're riding a horse or driving a car, you will notice that the land, I would argue, gets shittier the further east you go. From Ukraine to Mongolia, okay, if you just kind of drive along the steppes, Ukraine to, Tuva or Siberia, the land gets shittier and shittier. It's there's less rainfall, the soil is not as rich and dark, and it's noticeable. And so as we were going along, starting in Lviv and driving all the way across the country, he started to say, "Yeah, gosh, you're right. It's a lot more sort of desolate out here." And I said, "Yeah, that's so that's it." Um, but this is a village. This picture here. Can I do a full screen? I wonder if I can do a full screen. Uh huh. Let's try that. Okay. Ah, yes. Here we go. So this is one of the villages outside of Izium, I think, to the east of Izium. So this is just very interesting. I want to just kind of point this out. Let's see if I can. This like giant, I don't know what the hell it was. Like some kind of a brutalist sculpture just towering over Izium. I really have no explanation for it. It was bizarre. It reminded me of the sort of public sculpture that we have in America that some artist gets paid like $500,000 for. But it could have also just as well been like a abandoned factory that just fell down. I just don't know. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys some of these pictures from the trip, and let's see. I should zoom out here. If you want to know what this is, somebody said, "Oh, Manu, you said you've never seen a tank." I was desperately trying to take pictures of a blown up Russian tank that was just left in this field here. We saw lots and lots of um, blown up Russian hardware. Um, and it was just too darn difficult. Okay, here's our guys again. It was just too darn difficult. But so again, this is a picture from Izium, from the city center, that I think I showed you guys before, and this as well. And these are just buildings that were very clearly blown out. So I wanted to show you this. I hope this isn't OPSEC, but I had a very curious. This is on the way into Kharkiv. And we saw this odd thing on the back of a trailer being towed by the Halo Trust. Now, the Halo Trust is the Halo Trust is a demining. So they're an NGO that, and we saw a lot of Halo Trust out there. So a lot of deminers out there, and so I saw that this was a white truck, but I couldn't see that it was Halo Trust yet. And then we pulled up alongside. Here we go. We pulled up alongside, and it's this thing. So this is apparently a demining. It says RoboCut, and it's apparently some kind of a demining robot that they're using out there. And we actually saw it as driving by on another day. We actually saw it getting used. Yeah, Lauren, looks like the area of Texas at the western end of the Oklahoma border. Yeah. Yeah. So this is eastern Ukraine, a little bit like West Texas, getting into New Mexico. You know, I would say like Kazakhstan has a climate very similar to New Mexico, I would argue. Having not been to Kazakhstan, but Kazakhstan going down into Afghanistan, very similar to. Yeah, it's a robotic lawnmower from China. Just a very interesting thing. I just wanted to. It's not something that you would normally see. It does kind of look like one of those, a very big version of one of those robotic lawnmowers, except this one has tank tracks. So, yeah, it was a very curious experience. And I think I talked about last time. I talked about these flags that we see all along. And can you guys see the smoke on the horizon here? Can you guys? Okay, yeah, you guys can probably see that. Could be ground penetrating radar for detecting buried mines. That's interesting. That's interesting, Gregory. I hadn't thought of that. So I don't know if you guys can see that smoke on the horizon. That shows you how close we were to farmers preparing their fields. Farmers preparing their fields for growing, for they basically the fields out in this area had obviously they've been left fallow. No, it's not a shot down Ka-52. No, we were freaked out because we started smelling smoke, and then we saw this smoke on the horizon. And I don't know if it was exactly this one, but we were getting closer and closer and closer to it. And we were like, holy shit, what are we driving into, man? And no, we got there and we saw these guys. They were parked on the side of the road, and we could see that just off of the road. I don't know if it was this exact smoke thing, but yeah, it's actually a really good thing, because it means that they are, things are peaceful enough that they're actually able to start farming these fields again and rebuilding their agricultural economy. So that's that's what that was about. Didn't mean to scare you guys. we were pretty freaked about it though. So yeah. I think that is all that I have to show you right now from the trip. But like I said, I want to talk about it with some of you with regard to thinking about OPSEC, but I want to share the videos, and I just yeah, okay, Anna. So we usually burn our fields after harvest. Ukraine must have had an early harvest. No, it's just that the fields have been fallow for 2 years essentially. The reason they're burning the fields is because the fields have been checked for mines, and now they know they're able to do farming on the field, and so they're burning them to kind of get the weeds down, and then they'll till the soil, is basically what's happening there. So yeah, and then they might, yeah. Anyway, that's about as much farming as I really know, to be honest. Yeah, Ronnie, put it on Discord. That's probably what I'll do. Put it on Discord. Yeah, farming their fields the Ukrainian way to tell Russians they suck. Exactly. Yeah. So listen, guys. I think that is as much as I have to talk about with you today. And so I just would like to encourage you, if you got $5, make a donation to our drone raffle. And if you don't, that's also totally cool. And I'm thinking I might do another live stream tomorrow. It's going to be early, so it'll be 6 p.m. to if I do it, it'll be 6 p.m. Kiev time. And as the sod turns, sorry, Jonathan, you asked about how is shipping to Ukraine from China. I have of course bought things on AliExpress and things. I try not to, but there are some parts and different things we might have to buy from China. It can be as much as 6 weeks, or it can be as little as 2 weeks. It can be free if you go on like AliExpress, or it can be ridiculously high. So you just have to you just have to be cautious, I guess, and don't order something that you need tomorrow. But yeah, you can order stuff from Ukraine to China for sure, and we will probably end up having to do that for parts and things. So yeah, guys. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for sitting through that. I hope it didn't hurt you too badly. And I am. It's 8:30 here, so I'm gonna go out and try and find my wife. I don't know where she's at. She could be anywhere. She's not here. She's having a night on the town with the girls. Anyway, so I want to thank you all for coming, and I will see you on our Discord. Yeah, sorry, Ronnie, too short, alas. So, Slava Ukraine, and do побачення. See, can I figure out how to use? Oh, there we go.